Of course, I'm Lizzy Toms. I'm a graduate student with Clemson University, currently getting my master's in professional accountancy, and I'm on the tax track, planning to graduate around August 7th of 2026. I was always kind of into business, like even as a young kid, whenever the schools would give us like opportunities to sell whatever, I was always like on the like front end, just like trying to like sell as much. And then I was looking into majors and I randomly chose accounting just because I honestly didn't know that much about any of them, but I knew I liked math. So it was kind of random, but I ended up like really liking it and enjoying it. So I just kept at it. And then I joined Beta Alpha Psi at Clemson, um, which definitely pushed me more into like my love for accounting. So, Dr. Davis Kohler, the head of the Impact Program, was the one who let us know about the scholarship opportunities. And so that's where I started. My interest was Kappa, and then some of my professors in undergrad, because I went to Clemson for undergrad as well, they were able to kind of help me like pursue it almost because they either are members or no members. So they were able to tell me a little bit more about it to get involved. Oh my gosh, I was like so relieved just because I think it's really intimidating getting a graduate degree, especially when you're the one having to fund it. So knowing that I was getting additional help was just like the biggest wave of relief. I felt like I could put more of my time and effort into school and less on my job, which I think helps a lot. Um, I mean, I know the work-life balance in the field isn't always the best, but getting my master's, it's also pretty difficult. So I think it just saves so much time, especially because I don't know if you know that much about the Clemson Impact Program, but we study for the CPA throughout the year instead of the typical master's where you do August to May, graduate, and then self-study. So trying to find the balance of school, work, and studying for the CPA all at the same time can be a little overwhelming, but the scholarship has just provided a lot of just relief and like gratitude. It makes me feel like my hard work in undergrad paid off, and it gets me excited kind of for my future. Honestly, it was a huge reason why I was attracted to this program. I really want to go to law school after this and I'm interested in becoming like a tax attorney. So it was one of those things where I had interned, with company accounting firms in undergrad. I knew I loved it. I just think the way my brain works and like how most accountants' brains works, it's very like methodical and I like that. I like structure. So I think this field in general just is comfortable in some ways. So after like undergrad, I knew I still liked accounting, but I didn't know what I really wanted to pursue, which is where the tax attorney thing falls through. But I think the CPA to me is kind of just confirmation that, I am credible, especially if I am becoming a tax attorney like that. In my opinion, like if I was to get a tax attorney, I would want them to have their CPA. So I think it's the credibility first and foremost. It's also just like I've already done 4 years of undergrad accounting. What's one more year plus the CPA? Like, I just think it's such an awesome opportunity. I don't know, I just think there's so many benefits with the CPA throughout your entire life, especially with CPE credits and stuff. Like, it helps you continue to understand like updated codes, policies, whatever. Like, I just think the whole process is it's fulfilling. It also, like, it just kind of makes sense. Like to me, it doesn't make for me personally, I just felt like it made the most sense if I was going to get an undergraduate degree and a master's degree in accounting to, you know, put the cherry on top and get my CPA. I am really into bodybuilding. I used to be 270 pounds and then I think now I've lost like 100 pounds. and I just kind of fell in love with the gym. I started working at the gym I go to. Um, and I don't know, I feel like the discipline and it all kind of comes together. I feel like accounting, bodybuilding, whatever. So that is like my biggest, I spend most of the time either meal prepping in the gym. If I'm not doing that, I love to spend time with my friends. In Greenville, it's like mostly my coworkers and stuff. I also really love to travel. I did a semester at sea fall of 2023, so that was kind of like Sweet Life on Deck, where you live on a ship. And we started in Belgium and we sailed all throughout Europe, Africa, and then we ended in Thailand. So that was really cool. And then I'm also participating in the Oxford Study Abroad program with Clemson. So that will be, I believe it's July 19th to August 1st, but it's a 2-week program where accounting students get to go study in, I think it's Magdalen College in Oxford, which is just like so cool. I've been like counting down the days. I mean, go-to study snack, I have really become close with the Starbucks baristas. So my go-to would be the shaken brown sugar espresso from Starbucks, and then I will get like the bacon sausage egg wrap there. So that is like my all-time favorite. It's lo-fi. Wait, what is it? It's literally pulled up. It's lo-fi fruits music. Lo-fi hip hop beats to study, relax, and sleep to. That has been like, it starts with this song called Stan, and it's all just like, it's popular songs, but in lo-fi form. But I have been listening to that when I study since like at least sophomore, junior year in undergrad. Playing isn't the like perfect word, but where I'm going with this is I will always go the extra step as for like with anything. Like if I see value in something or a reason to do something, like I will do it. For example, in tax research, my professor was trying to get a hold of some representatives for, I don't know if you've heard of this tax software called Blue Jay, but it's essentially a new AI platform, yeah. And he was trying to get a hold of them to be able to give us a demonstration of how the AI would work, especially since that's becoming like just such a growing thing. And he wasn't able to get a hold of it. So I asked him if I was able to get him in contact with someone, would I be able to get extra credit? In which he laughed and said, if you can do that, sure. But like he really did not think I was going to be able to do it. And then within like probably like 6 hours, I emailed him and was like, hey, this is the representative. Here you go. And then he gave me the extra credit, but I just like any opportunity where I feel like there's a gap to be filled, like I always, if it's something I'm interested in, like I'm gonna go for it. I would say discipline for sure for bodybuilding and losing the weight. I think that obviously that was not like an easy process, but I kind of fell in love with it throughout. I feel like throughout my entire life, it's always been like a common theme of like nothing is black and white. Like I've just kind of been getting comfortable with the gray and like being okay with like having days where like I wasn't perfect or like days where I wasn't able to work out because I have kind of learned the ability of like being consistent. And even like with a CPA too, like studying and doing 5 practice problems a day might not be a lot, but if you do it every day, like it is going to make you better. So I really, I think discipline would be a good word to describe me. And then probably like empathetic is the word I would like to use, just because I feel like I used to be like a summer camp counselor and like I'm just such a like emotional softie. Like if any of my like peers I feel like is struggling or like down or like is sitting alone, I'm just like I don't know why, but like I will always be like, you're sitting with that. Like even at the beginning of this program, we were at orientation and people were sitting alone while we were eating lunch, like during the break. And I had everyone like create like a mega table. And then we made like group chats and stuff. And like, cause it's such a small program, like no one's gonna be left out. And it like broke my heart when one of my professors was saying like this isn't recent, but like a few years ago, students, especially coming out of state or not from Clemson specifically for undergrad, like they sometimes felt a little bit left out. And so that I was like absolutely not the 2026 class. So I feel like we've made such good efforts to just get close with like everyone. Like I had some of my closest friends in this program come from like Winthrop or Wofford or just like other schools in the state. So I think that is just like community is just so important that I always just like want to make sure like everyone in my group is together, like no one's getting left behind. Or like in study groups, like I will always send my study guides out just in case. Like I literally just sent one out to my friends because I was like, just in case you didn't make one, like because I don't know, I just feel like if I'm gonna go out of my way to make this study guide, it would benefit everyone. Like I shouldn't just keep it to myself. So that's kind of the whole reason why I chose the tax attorney route is because I want more interpersonal connection when I start working. And I feel like in my experiences being a tax intern, I get as you go up the chain, you get more of that, but I just kind of want it from the beginning. I want to just like, I just feel like I can find the most meaning and the most meaningful impact in like being more directly involved with my clients. I also think that when I envision myself as a professional, I don't know, in undergrad and now I always find myself in situations where I'm like giving consulting advice to my friends of like, this is how you should network or like, this is how you should resume and like always print your resume on cards that like, just like, I think it's because my older sister was like a lot like that for me, and she's also a lawyer. So I think she kind of helped me find the way. I mean, every day we're talking about the IRS and the IRC and how complex it is. And I mean, it's so complex for people that are getting a master's degree in accounting. Like, it doesn't frustrate me, but it drives me to do something with my knowledge for people that don't have the resources to have the same knowledge or the same experiences. I also think my study abroad experience in 2023, seeing such poverty in Cambodia and like those third world countries was just like, I mean, it was just real. Like, it showed how the world was. It showed how the structure and the politics and like everything, how it impacts everyone, like in the world. And I think that was when I was like, I not only want to be in charge of just like understanding policies, but like I want to be in a room where like they're being really discussed and created and altered. And I don't know, I want to be in a space where I can actually help make the change, if that makes sense. So I think that's why I'm so drawn to the profession I am going towards, just because I don't know, I'm very like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to be 100% involved. So like even with accounting, I'm like, if I'm doing taxes, I want to be like the most involved in them. And like, I want to understand them the best. Like, I don't know, I want to be an expert at whatever I choose to do. And I feel like being a tax attorney kind of helps with both, having expertise in taxes, but also the ability to then be an expert at people and like helping them directly. I don't know. I like how they merge together, and I think it's very fitting for my personality. I would say you've got to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe you can do it at the beginning, you're just not going to. I think there were so many times, I mean, accounting's just hard. Like, it doesn't matter if I have friends that, didn't always have to study and would get A's, but like you have those few people, but like most people aren't super geniuses. And I feel like in some ways, like the accounting field seems really intimidating. Like I felt like such an imposter in undergrad and like coming into this program, because I was just like, well, I am not like this person and I'm not like this person, but that doesn't really matter. So I think if you're interested in accounting, you just have to full send and like give it your all. And go, I know that like this is the most annoying advice, but like go to office hours and like actually talk to the professors because they will change your life. I think students forget that professors are people and they're humans and like they would love to just like have a conversation. And it doesn't always have to be about like what you're learning. It could just be like something you're interested in. But where I'm going with that is one of my professors in undergrad is the head of the Oxford program, and he was able to come. I had no idea about the program until I took his audit class in undergrad, and that's kind of when he sparked the idea. And being able to have a relationship with him, like, I did great in that class. Like, he was super helpful, but also he was able to like expand my mind to other opportunities. So I think just getting more involved with professors. I don't know. In the past, I was so self-conscious because I would be like, well, I don't know the material well enough like to even know what to ask. It doesn't matter. Like literally just go and tell the professor like where you're at and like they're going to be understanding. Like they would rather you be honest and like work with you than at the end of the semester, at the tail as old as time, please help me out. And they're like, I don't even know who you are. Like, so if you're interested in accounting, just like you don't have to be the best, you don't have to be the brightest, you just have to work hard and like make sure you're getting the support you need. And I think Beta Alpha Psi helped with that a lot too, because you're with your peers once every week. You can ask them questions. You can ask what classes they recommend, like stuff like that. And it helps with like networking nights and stuff like that. So I think Beta Alpha Psi and just like office hours and, creating relationships with your professors is what really made me get through accounting, especially in undergrad.